Welcome to Wrestling Forever, a place where we honor the legends who gave their all and helped shape the world of wrestling. Their stories still echo through the ring, reminding us of their heart, grit, and love for the sport. Today, we also share an emotional update on Damian Priest, whose recent situation has touched fans around the world. Join us as we remember their incredible journeys and keep their legacy alive. Subscribe and be part of passing their spirit on to the next generation. Rocky Johnson, born on August 24, 1944, in Amherst, Nova Scotia, Canada, was more than just a professional wrestler. He was a trailblazer, a mentor, and a beloved figure in the wrestling world. From an early age, Rocky showed a natural athleticism and charisma that would carry him far in life. He began his wrestling journey in the 1960s, competing in various territories across Canada and the United States. Even in an era when professional wrestling was largely dominated by white athletes, Rocky's talent and determination allowed him to break through barriers, inspiring countless others along the way. By the late 1970s, Rocky Johnson had earned national recognition in the World Wrestling Federation, WWF. One of his most significant accomplishments came when he teamed with Tony Atlas to form one of the first successful African-American tag teams in wrestling history. Their partnership was historic, not just for the championship gold they captured, but for the doors they opened for future African-American wrestlers. Their dynamic style, combining agility, power, and showmanship, made them a fan favorite and left a lasting impression on the sport. Rocky's influence extended far beyond his own in-ring performances. He played a pivotal role as a mentor to younger talent, offering guidance and sharing his experience with the next generation. This included helping shape the early career of his son, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, who would go on to become one of the most recognizable names in both wrestling and Hollywood. Rocky's approach to wrestling combined skill, heart, and a deep respect for the craft, values he instilled in those around him. Even after retiring from active competition in the 1990s, Rocky remained deeply connected to wrestling as a trainer and promoter. In 2008, the WWE Hall of Fame formally recognized his contributions, cementing his place in the history of the sport. Rocky Johnson passed away at the age of 75, but his legacy lives on. Not just in the accolades and championships, but in the countless lives he touched, the barriers he broke, and the path he paved for future generations of wrestlers. He will always be remembered as a pioneer, a father, and a true legend of professional wrestling. Balls Mahoney, born Jonathan Rechner on April 11, 1972 in Spring Lake Heights, New Jersey, was a professional wrestler remembered for his fearless, hardcore style and his larger-than-life presence in Extreme Championship Wrestling, ECW, during the 1990s. From the start, Mahoney had a passion for wrestling, beginning his career in the late 1980s across independent promotions, experimenting with different personas. Early on, he had brief runs in the World Wrestling Federation as Santa Claus, and later in Smoky Mountain Wrestling as Boo Bradley, working alongside talents like Chris Candido and Sonny. It was in ECW, however, that Mahoney truly found his calling. Joining the promotion in 1997, he became Balls Mahoney, a persona that matched the chaotic, no-holds-barred spirit of ECW fans, quickly embraced him for his wild brawling style and his willingness to endure extreme punishment in the ring. Mahoney was perhaps best known for his steel chair, which he swung with reckless abandon, often eliciting raucous chants of "balls" from the audience every time it connected. His matches were intense, unpredictable, and defined by the kind of hardcore action that ECW thrived on. Mahoney also made his mark in the tag team division, forming the Hardcore Chair Swingin' Freaks with Axl Rotten. Though they never captured the ECW Tag Team Championship, the duo became fan favourites for their over-the-top antics and brutal matches, leaving a lasting impression on the promotion's hardcore scene. After ECW folded in 2001, Mahoney continued wrestling on the independent circuit and later appeared in WWE during the mid-2000s revival of the ECW brand. Though WWE's environment limited the extreme violence that had defined his earlier career, Mahoney remained true to his style and continued to connect with fans who admired his dedication and grit. Tragically, Balls Mahoney passed away on April 12, 2016, just a day after his 44th birthday, from a heart attack likely linked to the physical toll of years of hardcore wrestling. Despite the hardships, his legacy as a fearless performer and a true symbol of ECW's rough, unfiltered spirit endures. Fans remember him not just for his wild chair swings and brutal matches, but for his heart, commitment, and the joy he brought to the hardcore wrestling world. José Manuel Guillén, better known by his ring name Mr. Niebla, was born on February 22, 1973, and went on to become one of Mexico's most beloved luchadors. From the very beginning, he carried an energy and charisma that set him apart, blending incredible athleticism with a showmanship that made fans smile and cheer. Mr. Niebla's performances were more than wrestling matches. They were experiences filled with daring acrobatics, humour, and a connection to the rich tradition of lucha libre. Debuting in the early 1990s, Mr. Niebla quickly became known for his agility and inventive style. He could execute breathtaking moves that seemed to defy gravity, all while maintaining a playful charm that made him accessible to audiences of all ages. His signature mask added an air of mystery, honouring the iconic luchador tradition, but he also had a gift for comedy, often using humour in the ring to entertain and engage fans in ways that went beyond sheer athletic ability. Over the years, Mr. Niebla became a key figure in major wrestling promotions, most notably CMLL, Consejo Mundial de Lucha Libre, where he left an indelible mark. Whether performing high-stakes matches or playful skits, he consistently showed his dedication to his craft, earning the respect of colleagues and fans alike. His ability to balance skill, storytelling, and personality made him one of the most memorable performers in modern Mexican wrestling. Tragically, Mr. Niebla passed away on December 23, 2019, at the age of 46. His death was felt deeply across the lucha libre community, as fans and fellow wrestlers mourned the loss of a performer whose energy and heart had touched so many. Beyond his in-ring achievements, Mr. Niebla is remembered for the joy he brought to audiences, the inspiration he offered to young wrestlers, and the enduring legacy of his craft. His spirit lives on every time a new generation of fans discovers the excitement, humour, and artistry that made him a true icon of Mexican wrestling. Jerome Young, better known by his ring name New Jack, was born on January 3, 1963, in Greensboro, North Carolina. He carved out a unique place in professional wrestling history, becoming one of the most unforgettable and controversial figures in the industry. Known for his fearless, extreme style, New Jack was a cornerstone of Extreme Championship Wrestling, ECW, in the 1990s, a promotion celebrated for pushing the boundaries of what wrestling could be. His in-ring persona was raw, unpredictable, and unapologetically violent, capturing the attention of fans who craved authenticity and intensity in a world often dominated by scripted storylines. New Jack made his debut in 1992, quickly forming a tag team with Mustafa Syed called the Gangsters. Their gimmick, a gangster-inspired duo, brought a gritty, street-level realism to wrestling, often incorporating social commentary and real-life issues into their storylines. Fans were drawn to New Jack's edgy promos and fearless approach, which made him feel like more than just a character on television. He was someone living the life he portrayed, no matter how controversial. Throughout his career, New Jack was no stranger to controversy. One of the most notable incidents occurred in 2004 when he accidentally caused serious injury to wrestler Eric Kulas during a match, an event that led to a legal battle and sparked important conversations about safety in professional wrestling. Despite moments like these, New Jack's dedication to his craft and his fans remained unwavering. His energy, willingness to take risks, and commitment to putting on a show earned him admiration and a loyal following among hardcore wrestling enthusiasts. After ECW folded, New Jack continued performing on the independent circuit, making appearances in promotions such as TNA and XPW. He also became a familiar face in documentaries and reality shows, sharing his larger-than-life personality and giving fans a glimpse of the man behind the chaos. New Jack passed away, but his influence on wrestling, especially in the hardcore genre, remains enduring. For those who loved the thrill of extreme wrestling, he wasn't just a performer. He was a symbol of rebellion, raw passion, and the sheer unpredictability that made the sport electrifying. Chyna, born Joan Marie Laure on December 27, 1969, was a trailblazer whose presence in professional wrestling forever changed the game. Towering at 5 feet 10 inches, with an impressive muscular build, she earned the nickname the Ninth Wonder of the World, and for good reason. In an era when women in wrestling were often sidelined or treated as secondary attractions, Chyna commanded respect in a male-dominated arena, showing that strength, skill, and charisma had no gender. Her rise to fame began in the late 1990s, during WWE's legendary Attitude Era, a time defined by intense rivalries, edgy storylines, and larger-than-life personalities. Chyna quickly stood out, not just for her size and athleticism, but for her magnetic presence in the ring. She made history by becoming the first woman to win the WWE Intercontinental Championship, breaking a barrier that had long been considered unthinkable. She also captured the Women's Championship, proving she could dominate on any stage. Fans still remember her high-profile feuds with some of wrestling's biggest stars, including Triple H, Kurt Angle, and Chris Jericho, where she held her own against the toughest competitors. Outside the ring, Chyna explored acting and reality television, appearing on shows like The Surreal Life and Celebrity Rehab with Dr. Drew. These ventures revealed a different side of her, someone willing to step into unfamiliar spaces and share her journey with the world, even during her struggles. Unfortunately, Chyna faced personal challenges, including battles with addiction, which affected her life in later years. Chyna passed away at the age of 46, leaving a legacy that extends far beyond championships and accolades. She was a pioneer who opened doors for women in wrestling, inspiring countless athletes to challenge conventions and pursue their dreams fearlessly. More than just a wrestler, Chyna embodied strength, determination, and resilience, showing the world that true impact comes from breaking boundaries and owning your story. Today, fans continue to celebrate her contributions, remembering a woman who not only defied expectations, but also carved her own place in history. Luis Martinez, widely recognized by his ring name Damian Priest, was born on September 26, 1982 in New York City. Growing up, he navigated the blend of his Puerto Rican heritage and American upbringing, a duality that would later inform both his personality and his wrestling persona. Standing at an imposing 6 feet 5 inches and weighing 249 pounds, Priest possesses not only a physical presence that commands attention, but also a charisma and intensity that make him one of WWE's most compelling performers. Priest's journey into professional wrestling began at the legendary Monster Factory in New Jersey, a school renowned for shaping some of the sport's brightest stars. After rigorous training, he made his professional debut on March 25, 2005. In the years that followed, Martinez honed his craft across various independent promotions, experimenting with multiple personas and steadily building a reputation for his powerful in-ring style, dark charisma, and brooding aura. Rising through WWE, the NXT Impact. When Damian Priest eventually signed with WWE, he embraced a distinctive, gothic-inspired character, blending rock star swagger with lethal athleticism. His NXT tenure showcased a performer capable of combining strength, agility, and technical skill, capturing fans' attention and earning critical acclaim. He became known for matches that balanced spectacle with intensity, leaving audiences both thrilled and intrigued. Priest's transition to WWE's main roster only amplified his star potential. He carried himself with a confidence and presence that made him stand out among a crowded roster. One of the defining moments of his career came when he captured the World Heavyweight Championship, cementing his status as a legitimate main event talent. For fans and insiders alike, this achievement confirmed that Priest had the talent, charisma, and resilience required to thrive at the highest levels of sports entertainment. SmackDown, move, and character evolution. Following the recent WWE draft, Priest was transferred from Raw to SmackDown, sparking speculation about how he would be used on the new brand. Once primarily portrayed as a dominant heel, he has gradually explored a more babyface-oriented approach, revealing layers of vulnerability, perseverance, and connection with fans. This shift has allowed audiences to see a more human side of Priest, though reactions remain mixed. While some fans embrace this evolution, others long for the darker, anti-hero qualities that first defined his character. The balancing act of maintaining his unique edge while appealing to a wider audience has been delicate. WWE's creative team has reportedly debated whether to reintroduce elements of Priest's darker persona without fully turning him heel, attempting to keep him intriguing while maximizing fan investment. The Judgment Day era and backstage tensions. A pivotal chapter in Priest's recent career was his involvement with the Judgment Day, a faction including Finn Balor, Rhea Ripley, and Dominic Mysterio. The group quickly became a dominant presence, with Priest positioned as a key enforcer. Behind the scenes, however, reports emerged of tension within the faction. Sources suggested that Priest, seeking recognition as a solo world champion, felt overshadowed by Balor and Ripley. Creative indecision reportedly exacerbated these frustrations. Plans for Priest to break away from Judgment Day were frequently revised, leaving him in a state of uncertainty. Some wrestling journalists indicated that these backstage dynamics contributed to a sense of dissatisfaction among top-tier performers, including Priest, who had clearly earned his spot as a main event talent. When he ultimately captured the World Heavyweight Championship, some insiders considered the move a transitional measure rather than a carefully planned elevation, creating additional speculation about WWE's long-term vision for him. Injury concerns and health rumours. Recent months have also seen reports of health challenges for Priest. Sources have indicated that he has been managing chronic knee pain and lower back issues, likely stemming from years of physically demanding wrestling combined with his high-impact style. While cleared to compete by WWE's medical staff, whispers persist that Priest may require time off to fully recover, particularly as WWE heads into the physically intense summer schedule. Fans have noticed subtle changes in his in-ring performance. Moves that once seemed effortless now carry a slight caution, and his overall pacing appears more measured. Backstage speculation suggests WWE may plan for Priest to drop the title sooner than anticipated, either to safeguard his health or to accommodate upcoming storylines involving other top stars. While nothing has been officially confirmed, the concern among insiders highlights the delicate balance between maintaining a wrestler's momentum and ensuring long-term well-being. Fan reactions, admiration and debate. The response to Priest's evolving character has been as varied as his performances. Many fans appreciate the newfound depth, and relatability, enjoying the glimpses of perseverance and human vulnerability. Others, however, feel the shift has diluted the dark, rebellious persona that initially captivated audiences. Online fan communities often debate his current portrayal, with some longing for the brooding anti-hero image reminiscent of early main eventers who blended power with mystique. WWE's creative team appears keenly aware of this tension, as Priest's trajectory hinges not only on booking decisions, but on successfully navigating fan expectations. How he is presented in the coming months could determine whether he consolidates his status as a long-term main event star or drifts back toward mid-card status. Hollywood prospects and future pathways. Beyond wrestling, Damian Priest has drawn attention from Hollywood. Casting directors have reportedly expressed interest in him for action-oriented roles in superhero or supernatural-themed franchises, noting his commanding presence, voice, and charisma. Should injuries or backstage frustrations mount, Priest could explore part-time wrestling while pursuing opportunities in film or television, a path successfully followed by stars such as The Rock, Batista, and John Cena. This potential crossover has reportedly influenced WWE's creative planning, with storylines possibly being accelerated to capitalize on Priest's popularity while he remains a full-time performer. At the same time, WWE may be positioning him for a future legacy status, ensuring his contributions are recognized, even if his wrestling schedule becomes limited. Looking ahead. A career at a crossroads. Damian Priest stands at a fascinating juncture in his career. He has already achieved milestones many wrestlers dream of: world championship success, mainstream recognition, and a loyal fan base. Yet the combination of injuries, backstage uncertainty, creative experimentation, and external opportunities creates a climate of both challenge and potential. Whether he remains a fixture of WWE's main event scene or transitions into new arenas outside wrestling, Priest has the tools, talent, and charisma to leave a lasting mark. As SmackDown evolves and WWE navigates its roster dynamics, audiences will watch closely to see if Priest can overcome the hurdles of superstardom and solidify a legacy befitting his talent. One thing is certain: Damian Priest's story is far from finished. With his physical prowess, magnetic personality, and growing experience, the next chapter of his journey may well define the pinnacle of his career.